on, they turn it off. YouTube doesn't let it come on. I mean, it's even sort of thing. So. Yeah. I stopped doing it today. That's just because. Roy, I don't want to. Let's do it after the break. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. Here we are. Another day, springtime, huh? While we're waiting for people to come, some announcements. Some of us are going up to the monastery this weekend to do some work up there. And I think we need one therapist. And Skip, would you might be able to come up for that? That'd be great. The other weeks we'll need more people. So glad to have everyone here. And Lama Norla is also doing better health-wise, which is great. And more participatory. Then I have different gurus, you know. And one is the guy that runs at a restaurant, okay? And we always talk about things. But anyway, we had a conversation. This is what we're going to do about here, at least temporarily for a while. I think one time we were thinking about, keeping the whole house. We had that first discussion and having the basement and do that. But I think this is what I'm thinking now. We're going to rent the house, okay? But we're going to close it off there. We're going to get the doors fixed here and here that have official entrances. We're going to put a bathroom and all back there. So this is going to be its own thing, okay? So in this way, it can be here, but separate from who was ever up there. It was yours truly or renting it, okay? So it'll be two different things. This way, what I'm happy about, we can still have programs here, you with me, but independent of everything else. So, for instance, we can have Dakini Day via the thing. We can have the Friday morning meditations. And then we can have the Wednesday morning. We can have Wednesday morning here. So we would have a person who can open it up, but it's separate. It's not, well, I was really concerned about security issues, so people can come in and we can do that. And then sometimes I would lead and other people would leave. And we'll probably, come back every other month or something like that. That's what I'm thinking about as this emerges. It's going to take a while for this to emerge. And then we can have other programs here also. And I'm freeing myself up to see less and less clients and to do more of this sort of thing and more writing and stuff like that. So entering a new friend. But I always will see people here, our friends, right? That's what's taking place with some. And I will see people who I am seeing when I'm not here on Skype, things like that. When will this all start to take place? Probably not until September or October or something like that. We're going to have to fix stuff up. But I like that idea. It can, we had some people wanted to buy it like they were Russian money dealers. They put a lot of money here, and I said they were going to build condos and that sort of thing. And I really feel like having a place for this energy to remain, because it's rather independent. It does its own thing, and we can still do that. So we'll see how that unfolds. But this is a doable thing very easily. A-okay? Any questions? We're not going to be here. Next Wednesday we'll be here. The following Wednesday we'll be not here. We'll be in California for that week. So we're going to have this. We'll have the program here, and then people can come here, and we'll see how that works. Okay. Not the 5th, but the Wednesday at 15th we'll have a program here. Great. great. And then other people will lead it too. We try to have more people leading programs. Also, the writing thing, we've been waiting now for a while, starting to wait for Godot. So by next Wednesday, everyone who's writing should have their writing in. Okay, and to put it on. And I like to consider writing as part of this, because expression, the articulation of experience at the level of experience in the field, really they kind of go together. They kind of actually go together. Expression of experience. And expression of experience in the awareness field, and learning how to do that. Then writing from that place and speaking from that place. It's all rather together. From poetry to whatever. You guys up for that? How many people have written stuff for the journal? Would you raise your hands? Can I? Okay. Okay, I would like you guys to have it in. Make it a priority, okay? Oh my God. But I would like that writing to be part of what we're doing. Okay? It helps us overcome sloth. Sloth. Because it really does writing does take an effort, doesn't it? And it's a block for a lot of people to articulate their inner experience. And then, as we know, we all learn from people's experience. We learn from Tom's poems. I blab for a while, but actually what we really learn is where the field comes through a speaker. I felt that so much with you last week when you articulated your experience so completely and clearly. And it's true that both the personal and primordial awareness are the same phenomena. It's the same phenomena. And the more that we can access that, be in that, and articulate that, then it actually comes into the world, It's a transmission. Good. Let's close our eyes for a second, and we'll hear the Kundalini Stavaha. There's a wonderful, wonderful, great Shaivite chant, and it's considered a very powerful chant, in that it invokes the awakening of the Kundalini. It invokes the Shakti. It invokes that unfolding of the light. It invokes the unfolding of the light, in our bodies. And that's really what true Tantra is. True Tantra is this experience of the unfolding of light in our bodies and around us. And the power of that light, it metabolizes everything. And it metabolizes all sorts of experience, the best and the not so best. And the more that you and I metabolize that, then the Vajrakumara arises, right? And which is the innate sense of indestructibility, right? Then deathless awareness takes place. And this is all possible in our life. If we have the fantasy, if you read certain texts, life after life, 6 million eons, Yeah, but not this understanding. Here we go.
Yanmo dararikshani atorani vedati bijarima nityam chetasi bhavyate bhuvigada sanvakya sancharini Mampatu priyadasha bhavakapadam sangataye shridhara datri tvam swayamadi deva vanita dinati dinam pashum Tapamrata Chandrikali Pimayi Sarpakrutir Nidrita Chakrat Kurma Samashrita Bhagavati Tvamam Samalokaya Mam Shoganda Kuganda Dosha Jaditam Vedadikaryan Vitam Svalpa Svamala Chandra Koti Kiraner Nityam Shariram Kuru Siddhartini Chadosha Zitstalagati Vyajiyate Viraya Kundaya Kulamarga Mukta Nagari Maya Kumarga Shriya Yadyevam bhajati prabhata samaye madhyana kale tava nityam yakula kundali japapadam pojam sasido bhavet.
Let's leave our eyes closed for a little while. We'll just focus in and and today hopefully get back to doing skillful means. Huh? A little unfolding track here. So last week we focused a lot on an event, huh? And yet events after events after events take place. Huh? Events, this manifesting in time, huh? And the week before that, Tom raised that question, which is such a really great question, about dependent origination and manifestation, huh? Dependent origination and manifestation. And dependent origination is where, like, I look around the room and see all these things here, people coming in, events, cameras, microphones not working, people here, there, cars driving, all this stuff, people who's sitting where, what's happening, and all these infinite events like Indra's net, infinite causes, infinite stuff, not only in the contemporary moment but in the past. Causality, dependent origination. And I look at it with my mind, and my mind goes wild with it, and I have all these opinions about it, causality and intentions, and we look at things with our mind, right? And then there's manifestation. And as the yogi describes, suspending your mind, and you begin to experience everything in a non-causal view, simply manifesting. And a lot of yoga has causality, except when you come to Dzogchen, they go beyond causality, and you begin to practice experiencing everything as the manifestation of primordial awareness, as primordial awareness, including yourself, including everything you think and everything you feel and every action you take and every secret you have, everything, and all around you. It is all the manifestation of primordial awareness. And you can hook on causality in the 18th century, 14th century, apples falling from trees, or steam engine causality, or energy causality, light causality, quantum causality, entanglements, and on and on and on and on. But everything is arising in the present simultaneously, and then it disappears, and arising again, and disappears. I'm arising, and I'm actually going to disappear. So we are rising. Huh? And that is the view. And you enter that view. You enter that view. And it's a view where you're in the non-duality of arising. And with your mind, you can still see details, people's faces, and all these events. Now, when events are taking place in manifestation, the experience may be a little bit different than when we're in mind alone, figuring out everything. What's happening now? Are we together? So now, she felt to me she was in manifestation at that moment. That's how you felt to me. When you focused in and you waited, it comes up. When people are manifesting, they're manifesting, but if you're able to articulate it, the field quality comes out really. So what's being said through words is also being experienced non-conceptually, right? Say yes if you know that. So, let's see what Longechenpa says about this, okay? That's what's so great about events. It reminds you, how am I experiencing these events? And he calls this the essential instruction. Now, Longechenpa is not easy, okay? Reading Longechenpa is sometimes like running against a wall. Boom! You hit the wall, you fall down, and you look up, and then it comes to you what he's saying. I don't know why that is. Maybe you get hit in the head. So he's going to say this. Everybody together? Let's extend into me, and I will give a better reading. And I do not equate Dzogchen with Mahamudra, because they're very similar in certain ways. Or as the Dalai Lama would say, there's no one way to gain liberation. When you think there's one way to gain liberation, then when you say, oh, I don't consider Dzogchen to be the same as Mahamudra, though it's some kind of aesthetic sin. But there's no one way of gaining liberation. Huh? It's very personal. It's our own discovery at a certain point. It's our own discovery. That's why you can't quite institutionalize it. The essential instruction, the central revelation. Now, he's talking about, it's the word he uses there is revelation. It's not the central truth, the equation of your mind with this truth. No, the essential experience that's unfolding for you and me is pure Gnostic awareness and gnosis, direct perception. Then he says, which supersedes causal conditioning and thinking. It supersedes causality. It's beyond causality. It's deeper than causality. And, hold on for this one, deliberate effort. Deliberate effort. So, whatever appears in gnosis, does not stir from the original face of gnosis. So whatever appears in gnosis does not stir from the original face of gnosis. So if I'm looking at Tom and he's manifesting right now and I'm experiencing him in gnosis, he is the original face of gnosis, staring at me right now, gazing. That's a powerful understanding, right? The original face is there. It's a pantheistic moment. It's a pantheistic moment. It's pantheism. Pantheism always gets people nervous. and moral conditioning are also superseded in this natural perfection of the single, all-encompassing instant. It's an instant of transparency, translucidity, here and now. Isn't that a great statement? And moral conditioning, moral viewing is superseded by the natural perfection of this single, all-encompassing instant of the transparent, the translucidity of here and now. At this moment, when I don't necessarily buy everything the Buddha says, but gati is now. Get beyond. Right here. It's fun, huh? Fun. And then, to make things even more, the speaker, primordial awareness, says, or Longechenpa, I am thoughtlessness. I'm the thoughtless sky. That is, I'm pure being, and I'm unthinking. I'm non-conceptual. I have nothing on my mind. And then, I take nothing, and I reject nothing. I reject absolutely nothing. As it is liberation. As it is awareness. As it is, just as it is. Whew. Intense. Non-judgmental mind is like space, open space, and is like non-discriminatory space. I am non-discrimination. Wonder how the guy drives around. I am non-discrimination. In essence, in the actual essence, in the essence of the essence, foundational essence, being, there's no cause and there's no effect. Let me hit you on the shoulder. Nope. See that? There's no cause and effect. That is manifestation. Radical view, right? Manifestation. No cause, no effect. Manifestation. No cause, no effect. Manifestation. This guy's wow. Now, Carol's not here today, huh? Oh, she's been going. So, only manifestation. Total presence is like elementalness. Total presence. Remember, she had that moment of totality that day. That was quite a moment. And when she had it, And it was an opportunity for us to participate in that moment, right? So total presence is like elemental space. And space has neither cause nor effect. Space. Now, here's one more statement to make. Buddhahood is not realized through virtue. What? Hey, I'm a good person. I'm one of the better people. I'm a good person. And you're a good person. And you've been trying to be good people for a long time. And you've been just to realize yourself, or whatever that stuff is called. And the Dakinis laugh. Because it's not a function of virtue. Virtue has its own rewards. Actually, being a bad person has its own rewards too. Sometimes even more. It's true. People wonder, why? All those bad people are doing so well. What the fuck? Yeah. It's true. Huh? Yeah, so I've been so good. I've been really good. What the fuck? It's true. Maybe. What? About the Last Judgment. About the Last Judgment, man. Train comes along. Stop. All the people get off the train. St. Peter's there dressed in white. 2 white shepherds. Oh, you didn't think of me that way. Oh, you did recognize me that way. No, that's just why. That feels like justice, doesn't it? That feels like the way it should be. Victorious superego. My God. Too much coffee. But I'm serious, right? This varies. If you want to do this, there's lots of paths. Lots of paths before this. Then they say this. If liberation could be realized by virtue, natural, unconditional perfection would be a lie. If liberation could be realized by virtue, good people. How many are good people here? You guys, right? This is a good group. Oh, this really is a good group. We are a good group, and people are kind. Yeah, this is a really good group. It is. It's a good group.
Very virtuous.
It's a virtuous group, really. And it has its own. It has its own. Who said that? It has its own rewards. You with me? But let's not confuse it with liberation. And then he says, if it could be realized by virtue, the natural, unconditioned perfection would be a lie. Almost done. If this could be realized by virtue, the natural, unconditional. Primordial awareness is unconditional, huh? It's totally unconditional. It doesn't have the guy in the train there. It's unconditional. Yes.
To me, the key word there is if it could be realized.
Yes.
Because if it could be realized, mean it ain't right now.
It's not right now.
It's right here, right now.
It is the givenness of givenness. So it would be a lie. Then he goes on to say, he goes a little further. samsara is not precipitated by vice. What? There's no apple? There's no apple? Or even in the Song of Samattabhadra, a later song, where ignorance arises and is the fundamental error of ignorance. And because of ignorance, the world's created. This undercuts that form of thinking and that form of arising naturally. Now here we go. Hang on. And if evil could create samsara, self-sprung awareness would be a lie. So self-sprung awareness creates everything and anything. Everything and anything is created by self-sprung awareness. All the goodness in this room, self-sprung awareness, manifesting as you. We have no evil people here. That's the only problem. But if there's someone evil, no. We're half-assed. Wait, over there maybe. Steve, yeah. There you are, evil Steve, okay? And all experience of evil Steve is manifested as primordial awareness, as Steve. Oh, holy mackerel. Makes your head itch. Sort of liberates the evil, though, doesn't it? Liberates everybody. Freedom. This is free. Realization is freedom. So let's see. Oh, what happened? Oh, my poor super ego stuff. I've been trying to be such a good person, and I have the sword of justice in my right hand. What's a great play? The Crucible, huh? One of my favorite plays in the whole world. Sharon actually was in the play at one time. The Crucible. Everybody here? We're awake? We're rocking? Failing to recognize your naturally complete condition and yearning for, and not just yearning, but insisting upon, objectively positive experience with its resulting bewilderment of good and bad appearances that are very affective. So a lot of affects, vast amounts of affects, arise out of the failure of self-recognition, because this is all the self-recognition path, right? And actually, I don't like the word recognition. It sounds a little too mental. Self-experiencing. It's the arising of experience, just like it was taking place for you. So then, he says, there's no good or bad in pure awareness. So as primordial awareness manifest, it's manifest all these elementals as primordial awareness, and then it begins the vortexes and becomes the archetypes, and then winds up as you and I. There is no good or bad in pure awareness, huh? At the level of primordial awareness. So that challenge of living beyond good and evil in the realm of good and evil. That's a little challenge. Living beyond good and evil in the realm of good and evil. And when we can do that and hold the whole thing, because then we can be liberated. And this is not a question of taking abuse or taking shit. It's quite the opposite. Because the more you and I are in primordial awareness, arising simultaneously, we actually experience the nature of the condition. We experience it as primordial awareness, and we experience it in reference to our own being. Inside out. So on one level, there's no discrimination. On another level, there's a discrimination on how to act now. So that's part one. He says this, then we're going to bring up two other things from this. So we're going by little blocks on this. He says, natural
Number one on this switchboard here?
you put touch it, that one, number one. No, right there, right? No, that one, number one there. You're gonna turn it. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. More. We go all the way up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe a little louder because I would like it to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then do this the big side too. The third one, the general thing. Yeah, thanks right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Okay. The demons. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 3. Now let's continue on, okay? Because ultimately, he's teaching us how to hold awareness and be in the world. That's what he's trying to teach, is how, with all the events that are taking place, how to live in this event-filled life, and how to be in the world where you have all these pairs of opposites. How to hold the pairs of opposites. Let me go to that right now. We'll get rid of Longechenpa, and now we go to Carl Jung, okay? So we could do more Longechenpa, we'll do that more next time. So, Longechenpa type, but I'm going to use Jung for a few moments. And Jung starts speaking about, we're all awake, the mysterious conjunctio, this union between our mind and awareness, or as he would say, mind and psyche, Psyche, right? And so does, or the phenomenologist, mind and awareness. Huh? How many of us know the difference between our mind and awareness in this room by this time? It's a big difference. And then he says this, and ultimately he's talking about freedom of choice. Because if there's a mysterious conjunctio between my mind and my awareness, or my mind and psyche, then my psyche can hold my mind and help my mind tolerate the pairs of opposites. Without awareness, the mind cannot do it. The mind can try to do it and become really rigid, super rigid, and really become a good soldier. But ultimately, it cannot hold that pairs of opposites. And then we start splitting. Now, none of us should be offended here, because splitting is in psychoanalytic literature best expressed by the statement of being borderline. What? Yes, because borderline states we split, and every human being has more or less a touch of being borderline. Now, when you're really super duper borderline, it is really big. You with me? I thought you was a good person, but now I realize your real nature. You really. That's it. That happens, right? We all have a little mixtures of this. You with me? We all have a little mixtures. But actually, this splitting, good, bad. No, oh, now it's bad, good. And we rewrite it a lot, right? You rewrite it a lot. I thought you were good. Am I the only one who experiences this? Am I the only one? No, no. So, splitting the pairs of opposites. Total right, wrong, good, bad, any type of frame you can frame it. So he says this. It's very hard for the mind to keep its integrity. A person with integrity can hold both, right? You can really, but it's very hard if your mind or ego, because it tends to identify with one side of the opposites, one side of the polarity. And your psyche or awareness, with psyche or awareness, you can then hold the balance between them. So when people do not have some sense of self, basic self, this was Winnicott's great understanding, that he started to realize when people could have a sense of self or a sense of transitional space and they weren't located in their mind alone, they could start holding the pairs of opposites and would not suffer splitting so much. Raise your hands if you understand what I mean by that. But without self and without transitional space, then we're really, depending on the events too, then splitting. We just keep splitting. White people, colored people, black people, green people, blue people, Republican. We split. You with me? And we also split within ourselves. We can split totally in ourselves. The good me, the bad me, you know. Yes, please. That is the nature. It means cutting it in two. And without, and also we grow up. And how we experience, it's not just mental, but how we experience object relations, how we experience the world is a direct experience, not just of mentally, but you're going to slap me for a second. Okay. Okay. Now, I might start liking it. Or I might not. Rub my head, please, for a minute. Good. Good, Skip. So these grew up in us. You with me? And there's always, but integrating it requires the base of awareness. And the base of awareness is the self. So when certain traditions poo-poo the self, they don't quite really understand the nature of the base of awareness. Because they often think that all there is mind, the aggregates of the mind, thinking, feelings, all those little things. But the self is not my mind. When I first became aware of my mind, that was a big moment for me because I wasn't in it. Why? I have a mind. I can think. And at that moment, I was a mindful person, probably about 40. So, I have a thought. I have a mind. That's a big thing. Because up to that point, I thought I was my mind. Then I became aware, and that can go on for a long time, but then I became aware of the awareness of my mind. Now at that moment, and it could have been a tragic thing, it could have been a loss. I think puppy died or something. Yeah, I'm serious. And then out of that loss, I began to experience another dimension that was not my mind, and it opened up the unpredictability and the infinity of experience, right? Then I started experiencing a self that was not simply my mind, right? Or my thinking function. Some people think the self is their rational mind. They're Mr. Rational or Miss Rational, really. And meanwhile, all this other stuff is rocking. Raise your hands if you guys are understanding this. Do not want this to be a too much. Self and psyche are intimately related. Self and psyche are intimately. And then, if I start hanging out in psyche, whether through dreams or art, it doesn't have to be sitting on my little cushions. Cushion cult. So to free myself, I started becoming aware of this awareness. And sure enough, I also feel the same awareness when I felt a person. I feel here. Something's happening here. Right here it's happening. I feel her and I feel this in me. I feel you and I'm feeling this arising in me simultaneously. And it's the same as self. And it's awareness and it's opening. Wow. Conjuncio. You. Oh, there's my dog. I love my dog. And I started feeling this in my dog. Then I started realizing my dog is not that different than me, huh? And I also started feeling this arising of this particular feeling that is not thing-like, that's not instrumental. And I start realizing the whole world is not just instrumental for me. I start really feeling the anima. The anima starts to rise. You with me? I might have felt it with my mother, the anima, or father, little brother, whatever. I started feeling the anima opening up in me, this dimension of love, the feminine. And the feminine, the anima, opens in both men and women, in spite of what some would think. It opens up and arises, and as that psyche opens up, psyche really begins to open, and the kayas begin to open. The anima opens the doorway of the kayas. So those little practices, dakini, that's simply one way of opening up the anima world. And so as we hang out in awareness and start to live in awareness, even here amongst us this way, but if I'm bringing my mind down into my heart. That is the great teaching of the Godaba Tantra. But also, just last night I was reading some Gnostic Christianism, and this 5th century group, their major practice was bringing their mind down into their heart. Isn't it amazing? I like this sort of thing. Nothing new. So, by bringing my mind into my heart, it helps me hold the pairs of opposites. So now I'm going to talk about the heart. And then we'll do stuff. Everybody together so far? The heart in Jungian alchemical texts emerges as a psycho-spiritual transformation, integration, healing. So Jung would focus on the heart as a chakra. He was very. We could do this from Shaivism too, but this is the center right here. Okay, and it's this center. It's the mediating center of the polarities. It really helps hold the pairs of opposites. It helps hold love and hate. It helps hold all these, and it helps hold it in a unified field. It's in the unified field that is liberation. This smells like shit. This smells really good. I am holding both in the unified field. In the oneness of the field. They both are the field. What did you tell me that that thing you had with Peter Devlin, would you say that would happen? Would it be okay with you?
Yeah.
This came to mind, so we'll do this.
So this was, I can't remember when Peter died. It was about 3 years after Peter died. And I was, it was a Friday morning, I think. And at the time, we were talking more about oneness. And so I was, I thought I was meditating on oneness, and I get this tap on the shoulder. And Peter would come and visit me a lot. And he tapped me on the shoulder and said, "You've got it all wrong." And then I said, it's like I wanted to push him away. And he taps me on the shoulder and says, "No, you don't understand it at all." And what I was trying to focus on was oneness as soup, just the thing of itself. And in the Gnostic Christian tradition that I studied, you have the one, which leads to the two, which then creates the three. And so I was just focusing on the one. Oneness is one. And Peter's going, no, you've got it all wrong. Oneness is two. And then that started shifting pretty much everything for me. That the oneness is two. And then I was like, oh, you mean the two is merged into the one? Because I wanted to get back to just oneness is one. And Peter's tapping me on the shoulder saying, no. Oneness is two. It's one, it's two.
Fantastico, huh? Or as the Dakini said, the Drujam Lingpa, you and I are indivisible. Yeah. So the heart, is the center. I'm gonna skip some of this. It holds opposites. It integrates the mind, blah blah blah. But one thing also appears in the heart. And when you enter the heart, as we all do, the heart is not a trance state. Sometimes trance is, in certain traditions, trance is really useful. But in the Dzogchen's traditions, the more natural states, non-dissociative, so it's multi-dimensional and translucid. It's not necessarily a trance state. There's no dissociation in it. It is wholeness. So sometimes the wholeness of the heart is called the Purushka. And sometimes you feel this opening of wholeness as wholeness. Then this wholeness pervades everything and everyone. This wholeness. And also sometimes some people see this Purushka as a blue person. A blue being appears. Sometimes it's the blue light, the Purushka. There's a little paper you might want to read on this, on respiration, Tantra, and the Purushka. Okay, it's a little on one of the papers. You guys follow what I'm saying here? Now we're going to pause again because we're going to take one more step. We're covering a lot today. But the person in the heart, the Purushka. So that way, that is the divinity. So as the yogis know, wherever love is, there is divinity, And where a true love is, there is liberation in that love. So it's not just a matter of sitting down doing mantras. Love. The love, the who, loving the who, is the beatific vision, the beatific state. Wholeness. And when systems undo the who and foreclose who, you're going to have a mechanistic thing-like world. Impersonal. There are impersonal phases, but actually, in the beatific states, look at Ramakrishna up there, okay? Wholeness. That's where devotion arises. That's why devotion is so powerful because devotion is relating to the who-ness. The path of the bhakti, which we have here, is the path of who-ness. It is a path of who-ness. The path of compassion is the path of who-ness. I have to laugh so much when I hear people describe compassion. I wish you well. Thanks. Can you lend me $1? Who-ness. Now, so let's just stop for a second here. Covered a lot of stuff. Everybody feel you've heard it a billion times? So the dilemma is this. Are you ready? Where's freedom? Where's freedom? Where's freedom? If I'd like to suggest to you that freedom is really not that easy. Though it's totally given, it is not that easy to really be free. And it's not that easy to really have choice. And ultimately, choice is a function of primordial awareness manifesting in itself as me or you. And to the degree that I can attune myself to that which I am, there's greater chance of me actually having freedom. Muktananda, the bliss of freedom. So say I'm in a state of mind. Say I'm in one of my favorite states of mind. Say I'm walking around with simply a mean mind. I just feel mean today. Don't fuck with me, okay? I'm in a mean state of mind, okay? I like my mean state of mind, okay? Especially on certain days, okay? So I'm in my mean state of mind. Or it could be any state of mind. We can each name any state of mind. Favorite? Yeah, anyone? Okay, which one?
Anxiety.
Which one? Happy. Okay, any others? State of mind. Now, what's happened about happiness, happiness is tricky because all the time happiness often goes beyond states of mind. But it's a good one to feel it. So if I'm in a state of mind, if you look at things cosmologically, there's a particular state of mind I am, but it's a very state. It's not all of me. It's a particular state of mind. Everybody's got a couple, at least 3. Okay? Now that state of mind is very state dependent. So I'm in that state, I'm in that state. And in that particular state, I'm going to think certain things, act certain ways. I'm going to act mean. You with me? I'm just looking for the opportunity, okay? Well, there's one, okay? You follow? I'm looking for the opportunity if I'm in this particular state. And the opportunity will find me too, okay? So there's this manifestation going on, but I have very little freedom. And the more concrete that state is, and the more it's a function of belief, a concrete mind, then the less freedom's going to be in that state. We take a step back. Let's look from going from Nirmanakaya, and now let's look at Sambhogakaya, the archetypes. And really and truly, there are certain type of archetypical configurations, like we've been in one of late, or what they call the one we've been in this period, Saturn, whatever the name is. It's this, but one of the Ratha Rasis begins with it. Anyway, but there are the archetypes also influence us, right? Do the archetypical dimension influence us? Yeah. So say I'm in a particular archetype. You with me? I'm in the Ketu Saturn conjunction. Not much freedom there. Because when you're in the state, there's not many degrees of freedom. It is not potential space. Right? When I'm in a particular internalization, there's not much potential space. Looking at it from a cause and effect. From a cause and effect thing, there's not much space. If, you're ahead of the show, but if I'm actually in awareness and experiencing the manifestation of all this stuff as the manifestation of awareness. And I am in awareness, in that gnosis, no matter what archetypical fuck it all, I'm experiencing freedom. Even in my mean state, I am experiencing the manifestation of primordial awareness, and I'm free. I experience process in it. I experience unfolding in it.
You're free to be the awareness you are.
I am free to be the awareness,
Everything in and with the mirror.
and even within the stuff itself, I experience, just like I can experience within you, the awareness in you. We can experience the awareness in Tom right at this moment. I experience the awareness within myself and permeating my states and manifesting my states, and that is self-liberation at that moment. Say yes if you're understanding that. Now, to get to that point, sometimes it's helpful to suspend my mind or try and cut through the mind states and cut through the archetypical experiences to experience primordial awareness. So those cutting through techniques, or the translucent techniques of seeing through my own experience and feeling primordial awareness, then I will feel its manifestation as self-liberation itself. I will feel my meanest state as self-liberation. Let's rumble. Now, raise your hand if you feel that in yourself a bit.
It's free.
It is freeing liberation. Liberation. Almost done. So, now what's interesting about this stuff, this is really doable. It really is doable. Huh? You don't have to purify yourself. You don't have to do 100 good things. Your own being is the work, and your own situations just as they are. You know, it's good to have a few rituals. You know, it's good to chant if you like that, light candles if you like that, go to the bathroom too. But this is not ritualistically based. It is not ritualistically based. Rituals are fun. They're fun. It's good to have fun. But it is my own experience that is my path in this world. And it's really good to feel companionship. It's really good to feel the guru in her. And it's really good to feel the guru in me. It's really good to feel the guru in you. I loved your statement last week. And it's really good to feel the guru in you. I loved last week's authenticity. Loved it. Without authenticity, we can never find the manifestation of the self. Because who in the fuck is manifesting that? Who's the manifester? Your primordial awareness as you. You follow me? You follow that? Where is freedom? In the very manifestation. Should we do Skillful Means Handbook? Since it doesn't matter, which is great, because then things matter less. In a certain way, as we all know, one of Heidegger's major preoccupations is human beings are born into care. Everything really matters so much. You with me? And then we confuse everything mattering with love. And so sometimes things matter so much to me that I have no love. You with me? Sometimes everything matters so much that love disappears. Am I the only one? And so it just matters so much. And it disappears. And Minuchin, one of the great physicians I knew and worked with, and it was really very useful for families to get beyond care alone, huh? And then love can come through. So with that, let's break up into Skillful Means now. So this is an important discussion today. It can disappear like that. When these type of discussions, at least the only time I'm understanding them, as I'm saying it. I got it now. Yeah, really. Wait, what was that? So let's break into let's break into doubles. And you see, I see you guys on the internet, and you all could you pull that little thing to me a little closer, Jeff? Could you pull that little machine here?
Want to move it in?
Yeah, just move it. Yes, hon. Thank you so much. Just move it over here more. I want to see the people there. That's great. That's great. Just a little bit. Thank you guys so much. Good to see everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, here we are. Yeah. But don't do triad. Just do two. Two people. I really appreciate Tom's help in this talk today. And Skip's help in this talk today. Now, now, can you guys pair up there? Can you guys pair up a little bit on the internet? Can you pair up on the internet? Hi. Let's see. Can you find a partner there? Marona? Okay, here we are. We'll be partners. Okay. Okay, ready? And Steve. Yeah. Let's for a moment invoke awareness. Just like people invoke, let's just see the power of invocation, of invoking this primordial awareness, or psyche, or whatever or the goddess, the Tromanagmo, Kali, whatever name you like. It's all metaphors. And you invoke that in yourself, and for us. And then let's extend to each other really gently. But we're going to extend from the lower center first, okay? And then we're going to extend from the navel. You guys can do it with me. And then we're going to extend from the hridayam, the heart. And then we're going to extend from the palate of the mouth, and sometimes they call it the womb, because it's the womb of the gem, and that's where all the nectarian life is at. And then we extend from the eyes up, and then we extend to everybody in the room, and we extend to our generational field, the mothers and the fathers, extending the light to them. And it's not extending, this is not mental intentionality. It is actually literally extending that presence, that sense in your body. Sometimes it's your whole body. And then we'll extend to different teachers we have in gratitude. We hold all the pairs of opposites. Then we extend to all the traditions and all their archetypes, their expressions of these primordial energies. And then we extend to, this morning, the Sambhogakaya realm, the archetypical realm, and we invoke the Dakini. The Dakini, is the anima, She is the anima mundi. She is psyche in personification, And she is feminine, but that feminine is not limited to gender. It doesn't mean gender can't embody it. And as gender embodies all this, we begin to have an androgynous state, We feel the union of the masculine and feminine energies in our own being. And then we can really feel that friendship, that companionship across the genders. The amicizia, companionship. We also can feel the power of sublimation, the power of the energy being transformed in our bodies, huh? It comes up through the navel, like the chant, opens up through the navel, opens, and literally the energy itself opens up. The heart comes up, and it's both vertical and horizontal simultaneously. It's not always easy. It stretches us, pushes us, and then the body becomes really stronger. And sometimes it stretches us through the illnesses. The heart energy. So I'm going to pull out my little Skillful Means handbook. This is where we institutionalize, right here. Now, now, trying to find my place here. Going back to a more mundane enhancing support, there are 3 lines of energy that flow upward from the navel. One in the middle, one in the left, and one in the right. They have little names too. These lines of energy flow upward through the heart essence and beyond. And they flow up into the heart. And from the heart, they have channels called the Gotri channels. There's a central channel that runs all the way through the mouth, the palate, opens up the palate, the Ketara mudra, and all these exquisite, viscous experience takes place. In the heart, also the heart drops, and then also nectarian states. But there are also the channels on the side come up through the heart, also called the Gotri channels. It comes up around the back of our ears into our forehead. And perhaps the most magical of the skillful means is the opening of the heart energy into a person's hands. The liquid-like heart essence substance fills the hand. Then the person places their hand on their heart center at the center door point. This transference of the liquid heart essence allows the person to experience the liquid-like light of the heart and can greatly increase the person's capacity to live in the field of the heart essence. This skillful means is a form of transmission and enhanced resonance. I'm going to read this, then we'll get more particular. Perhaps the most deeply felt and most compellingly skillful means is placing a person's head on one's lap. We're not going to do that right now. So let yourself, if you don't mind, take your 3 fingers and press it above the person's navel. You can ask them where their navel is. And you press it, and if you're just here, we can press it through the field. So I'll press it like that towards you guys on the navel, and one's in the center of the navel, then there's one to the right, and there's one to the left, okay? The one on the right is the one the Sufis use a lot that comes up. So just press the energy down, release the energy down, and there'll be like a feeling of a bulb in the lower body of the person. If you feel that, great. If you don't worry. You extend the energy there, and then you raise your fingers up, that it comes through the navel. That is the hardest doorway. Up through the navel. Breathing it up. Up. Then if you want, you can trace your fingers, letting them come up to that point beneath the breast. None of this is geographically totally correct. You don't have to worry about that. Feel the energy arising up. You should feel it vibrating in your body, your hands. Then if you want, you can take your thumb and very gently touch that little point beneath the breast. There's a little doorway, and it's right here. And sometimes it gets really, this whole thing gets larger, but right here, you can see right here, there's like a little bulbous part there. And you should always do it super tenderly, huh? Winnicott would say it's a point hardly ever to be touched. It's so, but that opens up the energy then. Then under the right breast, and you can touch the other a few inches below the breast, you touch that other energy center. And actually, that's where the Sufis touch. Usually they touch the men to see if you can be a Sufi because it opens up also, okay? And then the left one is another channel that opens up also and goes all the way up also. And different traditions emphasize these different channels. As they go up, I'm going to ask you next to touch the person with your wrist right here. I call it the Eric Pearl point. Good old Eric Pearl. Obnoxious but wonderful healer. Okay. I do one side. You can either do one or both sides. But it's like right there. And you're using your wrist. We're always using the wrist because the wrist is so powerful, right? And the wrist is not intrusive. The hand sometimes feels intrusive, like you're being grabbed. Like, but if you just feel the wrist, and here, and here, and then you're going to do this. Watch me for a second. You're going to follow this up from that point, coming around, back of the head, and you guys have felt me do this to you, and here, right here, okay? You come around, back of the ear, and those channels come here, and then you touch like so. Very lightly. Very lightly. And you can also do it yourself at times too. Huh? Now, because the Gayatri channels come into the eyes. And this is what is so strong, because these channels in the eyes allow us to see the light with our human eyes. It's not the third eye. It's not translated out. We can see the light with our bodies and with our eyes. Now I'm going to just touch you guys on the screen there a little bit. There we are. It's really good to see you guys today. There we are. There we are. Now how all this actually works out, I do not know. But it does. Because I think we have support. You with me? And you know what? Carl Jung says this. I was reading, same book. And he says the same thing the astrologers say. The Piscean age is coming to an end. And as the Piscean age comes to an end, I mean, there'll be remains of it, but it's going to have to be transformed. And that's where in the Piscean age, the Jupiterian age, Jupiter, spirituality, healing, and religion were all the same connection with royalty. With royalty. You with me? And with royalty. And that is being dissolved. We may be going backwards right now with the new administration. But it could be but there's a powerful movement, right? That's arising up, because the intensity of one side is bringing forth the other pairs of opposites. There's none neutrality at this time. None indifference. Now, let's do this then. Let's take one of our hands, and one of the people does it, and I want you to put your hand under your heart. So one person's like the helper, and under your heart, I want you to release the energy into your hand. Release it, and you'll feel it filling up, right? Then when it fills up, place, or you can take the person's hand and take the person's hand and place it under your hand. So you can make out I'm taking your hands, okay? Marona, I'm going to take your hand. Now this is not will. You want to feel the spanda. You want to feel like, because you're entering timeless awareness, right? Where is freedom at? Most of all, where is freedom at in human beings? In timeless awareness, right? Say that. Do you know that? Most freedom is in timeless awareness. That's the least determined place. And then you can place their hand under their chest, that little doorway. and breathing it in. Now, if it's really working, you will feel a viscous energy in your body that's moving around, and it moves around, and it's in you now. You with me? And that's not Skip's energy or Mimi's energy. It is the energy of divine awareness itself. You with me? It's Skip's the vehicle, and we're the vehicles. But it is. So this is why it's not going to drain Skip. It's not going to drain you. There's mountains of it. You with me? There's no limit. Now, here we are. Now, this is a real gift to give to a person, and it lasts. Now, if you're not meditating much, I don't necessarily mean you have to sit on a cushion, but if you're not entering awareness and you're not learning to enter the timelessness in time, which we all can do, because that's when these doors open. And this is the true tantra, right? This is the true tantra here. This is the tantra of the Hridayam. You with me? This is the tantra that opened up in the 8th century, both in Shaivism and in Dzogchen. Now, if you'd like, I'd like you just to give an embrace to your companion just for a second, and release the energy as you embrace them also, but through the heart. And it's a tricky. You want to feel the embrace, but if but you also want to be able to have enough space to feel the heart. And I'm going to do it to you guys on the internet. I'm going to embrace you on the internet. And so there's something about otherness giving us the embrace, okay? Just let yourself feel that. Because otherness brings duality into configuration of non-duality. That's why otherness is really useful. You with me? The problem with Tantra, it's over-sexualized. You follow me? The problem with Tantra, and especially the early Tantras, it was considered only sexuality. You with me? So there's a lot of emphasis on the sexual center, especially of the male, okay? The men were writing it, okay? But both centers are important, you with me? But actually the Hridayam Tantra takes us above the Harukula Tantras, the Chakrasamvara Tantras, and it opens up the heart essence. And why is this so useful? Because this is for everybody. You with me? This is no secret. You don't have to have a big secret thing. You don't have to have a big power thing. You with me? You don't have to have it get all and it doesn't rule out if you have the circumstances. But this is, and even in the true tantrics who have the circumstances, when they're practicing the tantra, it actually boils down actually to this more than discharge. That's my sexual talk for today. So let's see where everybody's at right now, okay? Here we are. So I'm going to pass the mic around. I know we could do this longer, but we're going to share our experiences a little bit. So we'll pass it to Skip, Kanu. And would you mind just describing briefly what your experience is? And maybe we can turn the camera, Tom, to see Skip. And I think we'll handle it. Yeah, there. Can you see Skip? There they are. And Kanu, yes. What happened? I'm going to speak briefly because we like a lot of people talk. What happened?
Two things that are still really with me. One is we were working with the Gati channels.
Yep.
Kanu became more and more and more luminous.
Luminous, yes.
Just totally luminous.
Luminous.
And
Luminous, yeah.
yes, and when she was releasing the heart drops into my hand, there was a weight to it.
Yes. You actually felt the gravitas and the weight. So this is not simply, it's light, but in a viscous form.
Mhm.
It's actually in the form of the early elemental. It's actually in the form of the early elementals. Great. And Kanu, what was it like for you?
I absolutely have to echo what Skip just said. There's absolute weight in the luminosity, like a palpable uh, thickness to actually moving energy, and I just felt my heart open, like tears coming out of a kind of a joy of a release at the same time, which is so interesting given the way we're talking about it.
And hold it just for a second. And also, as we practice with each other, and really we should practice it with each other. I know many of you do this, or, but when people are very ill, or very, very sick, and it goes back beyond words and letters, Bodhidharma's sixth center. Beyond words and letters, there's a transmission. It doesn't belong to any tradition. Sorry, not institutionalized. It's the very nature of human awareness itself. And that is the Buddha or Shiva or Christos or whatever name you want. So let's pass this to Elizabeth and Aaron over there, okay? You guys don't mind. Everybody up and then Patricia. Who did I say? Patricia. Okay. Patricia, great.
No,
Thank you
please.
so much.
Doesn't matter.
Becoming universal.
Thank you, soul sister.
Sing as my guru too much.
Well, first of all, a stunning visual thing that happened was as I went to put my fingers near Erin's navel, this absolute shower of blue pearls came out of her.
What was it like to see that?
It's just wondrous.
Turn the camera. Oh, you can see
It is the energy informing me visually what the power of that. It's just absolutely wondrous. So for me, it was an experience of the power of vibration, not only opening inner space, but at the same time making me aware of the spaciousness within. And as Erin was offering me the touch and also offering me some other vibrations, which I can't translate, there was just this stunning, it was almost like a dynamic blossoming or explosion of space within me. And then the space became filled with not only the bliss, but fierceness, a very, very substantial strength. And toward the end of the work, I was moved to place my hands in a fist, like the lion position. And right now, I just feel this utter fierceness and strength filling the space. But at the same time, it's blissful. It's both. And then I was moved to offer ah. I wasn't thinking about it, wasn't in the mind. I was just intoning ah toward Erin.
exquisitely expressed. And I love your own authority. I love your own authority.
As Patricia.
Your own name.
Whoever.
I don't really know how to describe any of this. Patricia's words were beautiful, and I could experience them as she says them, but
Pause and see if something arises. If it doesn't, that's great. And if it does, that's great too. Because it is the natural arising of the emanation that actually gives us voice. Sometimes it's there, and sometimes it's not there.
what arises is the experience of space that I felt with Patricia. And I wasn't even thinking of her as Patricia. Um, so, n- n- um, and the space was such that um, uh, there were the steps that we were doing, and then there was what we were doing, and it was as though they were the steps, but they were not. There was a open creativity to it. There was a sense that even n- there was no leaving what we were doing. It could open, it could be space, it could not be space. At one point, Patricia tells me I was saying something and she was feeling something of what was being said. I have no idea of that. But there was a sense of um, if infinity can expand, it's expanding not into anything but itself. Um, and that was it. Weren't. We would do the steps you said for a while, and then we left the steps, but our hands were still moving in the steps, I think. So yeah.
That is really fantastic because, in fact, there are no steps. Okay, these are arbitrary and contrived. Okay, so in a certain way, these are arbitrary and contrived movements, but the more natural movement of primordial awareness is spontaneous. Just like in Gestalt therapy, remember for studying Gestalt therapy, Fritz Perls would use little chairs, and then and so before you know it, everybody had two chairs in an office, and it became ritualized. You with me? So, and then you have a catechism mind, and the very catechism mind. So if anyone takes these steps too seriously, then our mind becomes a catechism mind, and as soon as it becomes a catechism mind, it all disappears. Yes, Patricia. Voila.
What I wanted to add is picks up on what you were speaking about earlier, Rudy, and our experience. So we actually, in a concrete way, we left the steps and we just responded to what was happening, unfolding in each second. And what occurs to me about that is that what you spoke about earlier, the freedom. The only freedom I have is to be my essence, and the only freedom others have is to be their essence. So my creativity was meeting Erin's creativity. It was a meeting of and mingling of the two creativities of being each who we were, plus responding to one another.
Thank you so much. And also, you were like space to me when I first glimpsed you over there. So, like this open space. So we're going to sit for a second. And I'm really liking this, as I always do. And I think because one of the reasons why we're thinking of doing what we're doing where I began this morning is that this little place could be used more often. You with me? And because people have authority, more and more authority. You with me? And we can have other programs here and people teaching here if you want. Because I have no mission attitude whatsoever. I must tell you, don't ever think that I'm on a mission. You know that, right? I hope you know that. Because if you feel I'm on a mission, you're looking at the wrong person. I do like stuff that I like. And I like experience in people. And I like this and I like what's going on here. So even if Sharon and I are not living in this house, we'd probably stay in a little hotel or something for a week or a couple of weeks, that this place could be open and we have have programs like this where other people are leading. Because I think I think the Piscean age is on the way out. I think institutionalized religion is for some, But really and truly, I think it's disappearing. I think it's disappearing. And I think in the age that we're in, which actually His Highness picks up a little bit about that popularism. That's why I was quote from Louisiana, Earl K. Long, a chicken in every person's pot. That was his. But the popularism, meaning Saturn is giving ordinary people without asymmetrical relationships this capacity to be with each other. You with me? And this group has practiced for many years, and so I would like to have it having a place if things work out right. And I'm just saying it's because of the artful work being done. Do you guys follow what I'm saying? That's how I think about this stuff. Let's see how people are doing on the internet. How you guys doing on the internet? How you doing, Steve? Okay, they're gonna. You have to get unmuted. Unmuted.
Yes, okay.
What's happening?
I had a very great experience today. Very, very different. Uh, as I was doing everything and going through all of the steps, I was so into spaciousness and going out into the infinite spaciousness. And I was aware that of the whole here and now. I was aware of the spaciousness, but what I really that I had to hold on to was the psyche within me,
Yes.
not the everyday, but the beat within it's the unique, but that is the same as the whole great big thing.
Yes.
Because when I was in the whole great big thing, and I lost the psyche, I lost everything. I collapsed, and so the psyche
Yes.
had to be held along with the whole big thing, and that's something very different.
Yes. When the psyche collapses, the sense of indestructibility collapses. As we've been through here, right? So that is why we are really entering awareness and holding awareness and feeling the resonance of awareness. And with that psyche, then whatever the events are, we do not collapse, even in the moment of death. Thank you. Somebody else who would like to share anything from the... Yes, hi. Nice to...
Hi, Verona. Oh my gosh, I love this.
Glad to have you here today. It's fun, isn't it?
Today, it was really wonderful. I felt tremendous different things. When you had us extend from the center,
Yes.
like melting, just in slowing, melting, healing. And when we did this one,
Yeah? Yes.
I felt like a baby.
Yes. Could you feel it opening up?
But when babies, you can't use your hands.
Yes, that's right.
So it was very I don't even know how to describe it. Just very powerful.
Very powerful and very beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, very beautiful. And
Did you feel the energy from the heart?
yes,
It's a little strange, but it's great.
what's funny?
It's fun. It's fun, isn't it?
This one, my hand felt very, very warm.
Uh-huh.
And then when I extended to you,
Yeah.
it felt really hot.
You can feel that heat right there, yeah. It's coming through you so much, you know?
I don't know what you felt, but I was feeling it on my end.
No, I could feel energy coming to me from you guys, which is really, that's why I said how it works, I really don't know, but it does, right?
Thank you.
Let me see someone else would like to share. Maybe someone from over to the other side. Just pass the microphone down to somebody over there. Maybe Heidi and Rick. Is that the right names?
If you want partners.
Okay, no, Karen. Karen knows my names are going to that side. There's more Rick, right?
Yes.
See one, you see them all.
first the oh sorry first the experience of the connection was very interesting because um, Karen, it was like she was able to draw me in to just a very accepting, open energy, and I could feel, and it was like being in someone's museum, or where there's all these things that I don't know what they are, but I'm um, trying to be gentle and not disturbed, but so curious about, right? So I could feel in her, and right away her strength from her heart and her breathing, and hmm and and then able to feel the upward pull, so much upward pull, so much connection, like just this huge opening column of light, and being a part of it, and being able to see up into it, and being there, and then feeling her also sending energy to me. So more of the experience felt to me like on the inside of her, where could I um, just support where she wanted to go, and be able to be there like you would hold a ladder for someone, was sort of the feeling.
Thank you so much. And Karen?
So my experience was that of Rick's generosity in offering the invitation, really, to extend into him and experience this meeting of our um, selves, and opening into this beautiful sense of freedom, and opening and pulsation of energy, and love, having the heart, and really feeling the pulsation of the heart, and sort of embracing the sphere around us, and experiencing that oneness.
Thank you. There is a sphere that sometimes is around us, right? SPHERE, when you're with a person or a group. We're going to pass the mic back because we're starting to end us. So let's end up this way, though, today. Let's focus on each other for a moment and our friends on the internet. I'm glad Marona's here. And we're also going to focus on each other. And then we're going to focus also on the monastery. And we'll focus on Lama Norla. And extending the light of awareness inside to inside directly. The great freedom, or as the yogis would say, the bliss of samadhi is the bliss of the world. And the bliss of the world is the bliss of samadhi. And by samadhi, they don't mean a tranced out state. But we're all gaining skill together, where we can experience within duality, non-duality. And within non-duality, we can experience duality. And it's quite a worthwhile endeavor. And actually, it's easy enough to understand. it's really great when everybody can practice. And I think you guys are having something this Saturday, right? And everybody's invited to that? No. Everybody's not invited. Okay. Huh? Oh, okay, great. That's great. That's fine. No, that's great. Great. So it really does help to have containment. One of the reasons why we try and keep this contained here in a serious way, because with a lot of coming and going, the actual field keeps making adjustments for new people. You with me? And so you constantly go back to that level of functioning. You with me? And sometimes that could be pissing in the wind. Now there's some groups that are supposed to do that. They're really great at that. You know, I'm not. So we like having ongoing continuity in an ongoing way. And there should be programs for new people or people who aren't used to this, you know. But you have a lot of those in Washington, and they're really great, you know. And but there is a containment, a boundary that allows for the experience to become very intimate in the best sense of that term. Because ultimately, this inside experience is intimacy through human beings and through experience itself with divinity. Huh? Thank you guys. See you later. Yeah, there's a program on Friday, and then we speed off, okay? Oh, and Lama Torchin on. That's great. This is great.
This Thursday night, tomorrow night, is the night for Lama Tarchin on Zoom, 8 to 9.
Could you quote your Zoom number? Because there's some people there who might want your Zoom number. She's going to give you the Zoom number for Thursday night. We have these videos of Lama Torchin, who's a great, great, great Dzogchen master who died a few years ago and who we greatly miss. Saturday, there would not be any Dakini Day this Saturday, okay? Eventually we'll make arrangements for other people to do stuff on Saturday, but... And I really... Yes? No, there'll be the same program, except it'll be here. I won't be here, but it'll be here. 2 Wednesdays from now.
The Zoom number is 768 805 6811. 768 805 6811. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Thursday.
That's on. Yeah, that's on. You want to talk? That's on Thursday nights. There's a video of Lama Tarchin on. We used to have it on Saturday mornings, but it was too much to have that talk and then do Dakini days. We're having a lot of fun with the Dakinis, which is the invoking of heart essence. Can everybody hear? Could you guys hear? Okay. We're working on it. It's working? Good. Great. What'd you say? I'm sorry, what, huh? Can you hear? Okay. Thank you, guys. See you. Bye. See you. Bye. Thank you, guys. See everybody.
We have to go on the video thing and select that camera.
I get just anxious about anything changed. I get nervous. Will it work? Thank you, guys. A lot of fun. Really cool. Everybody's getting a great degree of expertise. Experts. Thank you, Skip. Thank you, Thomas. That's great.
I'm in a Dulu. I
Huh?
was just testing the.
No, great. I really appreciate you guys do that because
Thank you, Rudy. And thank you for Saturday. All the words you gave me
Were they
were
good?
kind
Were
of
they
the
good?
words I needed.
Great.
And I joined APA and all that.
You gotta do it.
And you got my email about my sister's real estate
Yes,
connection.
yes.
She really knows Santa Monica.
does she do? She does homes.
She does homes and apartments.
Okay, great.
She's hustling. Like she is totally in the hustle.
Okay, I will call her up.
And I mean, you'll see if it's the right match.
Yeah.
But I will
don't know if
say
we're going to do it
she's
yet. We're going to probably wait a little while because we
okay.
love where we're at right
Well, when
now.
I mentioned it to her, she said that if you want her to just give you the lay of the land of like what things cost,
That'd be
and
great.
She's just
That'd
to kind,
be great.
you
I
know.
like that. What's
and
her
then
first name?
Kim.
We'll definitely
And then
use her
she
then.
said, "Look,
That's-
you know, it's about making sure the relationship's right, but I can give them the information about what choices there are." And
that is great.
And she's really good on details. She knows these
we
things.
definitely will see. Yes.
Yeah,
'Cause we
I'm
wanna
not
find
pressuring you. I just
no,
want
no,
you to
I'm
know
not-
what she's
well,
like.
We do now. We decided we're going to take money out of this place and get a house there. So the rent will take
Makes
place
sense.
here,
That
and the
makes
center can
sense.
stay here.
Yeah.
We can come. We want to stay in a hotel.
Yeah.
We can probably
Yeah.
come every other month.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, people can start doing programs here. Too.
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
we like having.
blessings.
But with the same view.
Yeah.
I really, the
Yeah.
view. I do not
Yeah.
want where the world is illusion.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all delusion.
Yeah.
And it's as if.
Yeah, well,
I
we've
hope
been.
that's really clear. You know?
Yeah,
I
it's
just
clear,
don't want
Rudy.
to-
We've been here for so many years.
I know we have.
We know this.
But I don't want to-
We know this. And I applaud your freedom and your liberation.
I am liberated. Thank you.
Rudy, would you want to do a picture coming out of TV when you're in California?
Yeah, would that be easy to do? Or what?
It should be easy enough just to plug.
Maybe not. If we don't get it the first time, we're not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
But eventually, I was either going to buy a big screen here,
Yeah, it'd be good to have a bigger
a
screen.
better screen. I might just get a big computer screen or TV screen
Yeah.
and put it down here. We all could feel we're on the ground together.
Oh, I see. That's good.
I want to be on the ground.
Yeah, you could do that. It just takes one. Just an HDMI. I've done that with me.
Thank you guys. You guys,
And-
thank you guys.
Yeah, I won't be here for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be on the internet too. I'm going to Florida.
This is making what I'm saying. How would I get this place
Well, I
used?
think that's fun. Yeah.
Whether we here or not
Yeah,
here,
because
some of this.
this is our sacred
We
place.
have all these leaders here, you know,
Yeah.
and it's really, everybody
You
has.
get a lock with a little code to the one to another code.
It is the age. It's the age.
Today, just the way I'd seen
It's happening so strong.
You do that. You used to go.
You go with it or you
Go
suffer.
with it, or
you
there
suffer.
really isn't another choice.
Oh, you do that.
Because I don't like to suffer. I don't like suffering. But it's so much fun to see, because I'm just that much older.
Yes.
So I remember.
I remember you. And I keep saying, wait a minute, no more laws and this and that.
I know, it's just like.
And then just what took place today with that was so exquisite. So exquisite.
Yeah. So I'm
Thank
just
you. I really
honoring that.
appreciate
Yeah.
Can I turn this off? Yeah, I should leave it on. Thank you guys so much.
And then the whole thing's gonna